A 2025 5th Gen TRD Sport in Heritage Blue, very close to Cavalry Blue, my favorite color of all time. Boy, it looks so much better than the white next door identical vehicle. Let's get this video going. Thanks for being here. Hey guys, Terry here on Down the Road Production. So I'm back with a new video. This video is still on the 2025 4Runner, the new 6th Gen. After our last video that's doing really well, I say thank you to everyone on that video. I wanted to talk about what Toyota could do to restore more of an emotional connection to the 5th generation 4Runner in their new 6th Gen. Just some minor ideas for improvement that may make the 6th Gen 4Runner more appealing to people who own the current gen. And I'm going past offering a 3.5 liter V6, just trying to work with what they've got. I don't know if the vehicle architecture here can take a 3.5 liter V6 or not. I assume it might be able to. Toyota's got to answer that question. So let's get into it. Thank you for being here. Again, the truck to me is kind of SUV-ish and not as rugged in its initial appearance as the 5th Gen 4Runner is, which we all know and love. Again, you know, my intent here is not to do like a negative review. I'm just going to be honest. I just want to be that guy that's seeing this. So behind me, they call it Heritage Blue now. It's very close to Cavalry Blue, which is actually my favorite Toyota color. I love that color on Toyotas, especially with a white roof. We'll just go through the items. So this thing looks great. Way better than the white one. It's spec'd the exact same way. This is definitely the right color to have available on new 4Runners. There's no question about it. This looks way better than the white TRD Sport I tested in the last video, which is actually next door to this one right there. So if you come here, I really do think it'd be a great idea to restore the chin LED lights kind of standard right here and actually have them be round like on the 5th Gen 4Runner. That's my first thing. You can keep everything else, okay? Here, to restore more of an emotional connection, change these. I don't, you know, if you make them bigger, they have to remachine or redo the fender and hood, and I know that's expensive, but there's got to be some way that they can make these headlights more like the 5th Gen 4Runner, with more of a flat ledge here and maybe deeper into here and maybe more into here. Just that little bit extra real estate, because you know, people love 5th Gen 4Runners and they want that emotional connection. Here down below, this plastic chin lip, I know that's for fuel economy and I know people are removing them. I don't think there's much we can do about that except expose more of the towing hooks or hooks that may or may not be on this truck in red underneath that. Just stock stuff, okay? So I'm asking for, just to restore more of an emotional connection for 4Runner buyers that are considering this truck, is changing these headlights, increasing their real estate, and adding back the round LED lights. It'll look more like a 4Runner. Everything else, I believe, can stay the same in the front of the vehicle. So that's my first thing, right? Is that. So this truck has an aluminum hood, and I called out the hood shaking test driving that truck right there. It has an aluminum hood and this is plastic. So it would be nice if Toyota maybe offered a protective film for this, because you go through some trees with this truck, it's over. This is aluminum, and I know now why it shakes more than it does on a 5th Gen 4Runner, just lighter weight, etc. Number one, bring back those round, chiseled front LED lights. Find a way to take away the Tacoma-like front headlights and make them look more like the 5th Gen 4Runner. Because, you know, like when Ford brought out its 2001 or 2002 Thunderbirds, it'd been gone from the market for years, but they made sure there were design cues that created an emotional connection for existing two-seat T-Bird owners, even though the car had been gone so long. So this here, this double tombstone front end, the rest of it can stay. And those are ideas just so when you walk into that showroom floor and see this, you know, it starts that emotional connection with the 5th Gen, and this is a 6th Gen. And again, we love the color. Okay, definitely the interior is a lot more plasticky than the 5th Gen 4Runner. And I thought more about this, why this is here like this. they probably had design discussions about having all this stuff up here again. I say move all the switchgear back here, like it was on the 5th Gen 4Runner, and extend this out to here, because this is actually nice for resting your arm while you're driving. Now, the reason I like these here instead of here, which they can stay in the Tacoma, is that up here when you're overlanding off-roading, just having them there, it's a quicker response time if you need to roll up a window or something or get to your window. I just got used to, and a lot of 4Runner, 5th Gen 4Runner owners have gotten used to having the switchgear up here, and I think it's great. Some people don't like it up here, but again, this is about establishing an emotional connection with 5th Gen owners to sell more of these, okay? The other thing is, this is a hard plastic surface. It's not really soft to the touch. The 5th Gen 4Runner has the padded interior, more padded materials. This needs to be padded, okay? 5th Gen interior, my truck actually, this top dashboard looks way better than in the 6th Gen. So this exact same material, again, will create that emotional connection with the 5th Gen. When people come to look at the 6th Gen, it'll feel more 4Runner-ish. Now this is plastic here, but it's grained. It almost looks cloth. This is another area where there could be some improvement in the 6th Gen. I already talked about this. This shifting feels better than in the 6th Gen. And here you can see the padded surfaces on the door right here. This is really nice. It's padded. Okay, even though you got plastic down here, it's a darker, softer looking plastic. And this padded material is sure nice to rest your arm on. And not only that, compared to plastic, it transfers heat less than the plastic surface does. And there's your switch up at the top there. I think I like it, and I think passengers like having those switches there. Back here, this is tucked in on this door, so when the door's closed, you hear that this door sounds way better closing. I don't have intrusion here with my left knee when I drive the vehicle. And this here, look at this. So you're out there rock crawling or overlanding, just being able to put your arm here and have these switches so close, just in case you got to roll the window up quick or roll it down to talk to somebody else. This is super excellent. This dashboard here comes off way better than in the 6th Gen, and I'm not being mean, I'm being honest. And they lost some of this big button feel. These feel so high quality when you move them. Anything Toyota could do to improve the switchgear on the 6th Gen would be great too. The other advantage I have to moving this stuff up here is that it makes it a little bit more roomier through here, because I found my left leg bumping into this stuff. I don't think you can get rid of this, or maybe you can, I don't know, but a good door designer could make some quick tweaks. So the next thing I would say you want to do is more padded materials in the interior, and they can do that. And that's why the 5th Gen 4Runner interior comes off as higher quality than this interior. The next thing I had wanted to mention in the last video too is this area right here will scuff and mar up. The white one behind me had brand new, a little scuffing and marring. Not from this. So GM products were notorious for this area here getting marred and scuffed up. If they could even redo this and concave this in a bit so this area here doesn't get scuffed or marred up. The next thing here is just to create more of that emotional connection. Can this center console be made bigger to more simulate or replicate a 5th Gen 4Runner? So here on a 5th Gen you had a compartment here to put stuff in. This does not seem like that big of a compartment, and I'm sticking my hand in here looking for a USB port or something, or a cigarette lighter port. That's not in here. That needs to come back into the truck here. Some sort of USB and power port connection right here on the floor. I think putting a tray here, like you can do on a 5th Gen, literally impossible with the way this closes. This needs a redesign. I know that costs money, but this needs to be bigger, okay, so it can carry more. It needs to have power port, USB, cigarette lighter connections inside it, and there needs to be a way for a tray to be here, right, for coins and stuff, right? So here, this is just like a dumping zone, right? If this could ever change, that would be great. This stuff here is fine, okay? It looks to me, and I'm only speculating based on my own automotive background, it's like, hey, if Ford can do it, get away with the cheap interior on Broncos, we can do it too. That's the new industry standard. I am really perplexed with Toyota emulating GM and Ford build practices, okay? Just because they sell a lot, the reason Ford and GM sell a lot is that they've got vast dealer networks where they can park unsold vehicles on their lots until they are sold. Toyota should be a premium product, and period. And the 5th gens are definitely a premium product for what they offer. So this is okay here. If there's any way to make this more notchy, I guess, maybe, or have a little bit more feeling when shifting this into drive and stuff like that, or they can keep it the same, but just something to improve the shift feel here. And here you can see that door. I talked about the TRD emblem on the side. That does look nice. The back looks nice here. You can see right there. So this truck, there you go. You can see that limited rear view when you're driving, right? When you're looking out the back of the truck. If there was some way they could make those headrests more disappearable or lower, something, right? Or turn on one of the cameras back there to give the driver a better view out the back window. Of course, this truck does have cross traffic lane alert and things like that. But for me, you know, it's kind of weird not being able to see out the back window as well as you can on a 5th gen 4Runner. So I know it costs a lot to redo the tailgate and glass area. One more thing, look how great the rear view is out of my 5th gen 4Runner. You can really see everything. They got to figure out some way to bring that back in the 6th gen because your view is so blocked when driving the truck by the rear seats. They got to do something here to increase that view looking in your rear view mirror. I have no issues with this. Maybe there's a creative way to improve that somehow or some way with the next redesign. Okay, here people say that these seats are better than in a 5th gen. So in a 5th gen 4Runner on a long trip, it can get kind of hard feeling right here, the TRD seats. So what I do is I move my butt up here, which is soft. I didn't think these seats were better. They're more sporty, but you know, the seats are what they are. They're fine, right? They're more than fine. Okay, let's see. A lot of people, it says it looks like they just put a big screen on a piece of plastic, right? That is what it is. I don't think that, you know, I can't really dog it right now because this is a new generation of vehicles, but they got to take away the Tacoma from this interior. Because when someone sits in this and then they look at a Tacoma, they're going to feel like they're in a Tacoma. And all this stuff here is like pickup truck. That's got to go too. It needs a new dashboard here, a new IP setup here, maybe a totally different view here of this. I guess after that, if they can go to padded materials, they could probably keep what they have here and be okay. When you come in, if you see padded materials, again, that'll establish that emotional connection with a 5th gen interior and you'll be fine. So those are my ideas just for the interior. And I know this stuff takes time to, you know, put in place and plan with suppliers and put into production. I think they should find a way, at least at a minimum, to put a padded material here. That should be easy. In the short term, like a running production change, I think that would be fine. This is kind of like not enough space in the center console. It just isn't. Everything else is okay here in this interior for me. Again, I love the JBL branding. I think these seats are a bit narrow for me, but they are what they are. And I'd like to see TRD. If they had TRD on each headrest, that would be huge too, just to establish more of an emotional connection to people that are fans of the 5th gen. And that emotional connection can make a vehicle sell. This truck, the emotional connection this truck has right now is with the Tacoma. Actually, I gotta tell you, if this truck had a 3.5 liter V6 in this color and it was a little bit less expensive, I'd want it, okay? The next thing I want to talk about here are these tail lights. I remember the fanboy, scuttlebutt, wet dream stuff about these new tail lights on the 4Runner. I guess, you know, this is okay, but there's got to be a way they could make it more like a 5th gen 4Runner. I'm not talking chrome. I did mention this in the other video, but I would hope there would be a way to bring out more of a 4Runner heritage look with these taillights. Just saying, most people don't care, but I do. The next thing I have here, and I don't know why they did this stuff will come off if you're overlanding or something bumps it. These may fall off the vehicle where it says 4Runner. I'd like to see 4Runner up here. and maybe, you know, the Toyota emblem here. Now, maybe not there. Have it say Toyota here instead and put the 4Runner here. I really would. People know 4Runners are Toyotas. It's a legendary vehicle. Okay. Now, the next thing for an emotional connection, these are like flat. They're not concave in. They need to be concave in, and they need to find a way to bring back that red circle around the TRD. That should be easy for Toyota. There was nothing wrong with the rim design on the 5th Gen 4Runners. Again, you know, you want, for me, I think I'm correct, is you want that emotional connection when you come in. When people see this here, they love it. Okay, all that looks good. Here, same thing up in here, right? And maybe if they could make something red back here like the spring, that would really do it. So it would really make people think for real that this 4Runner is in the lineage of the 5th Gen. Right now people are thinking Tacoma when they see it, and I'm just not being mean, I'm giving you the truth. The next thing here is the rear window. I know this was done in the 80s or something. I guess this is okay, but there's no real benefit from inside the truck having it like this. I don't mind this staying. The 80s were a long time ago. I guess it is what it is. That'll probably stay with this generation of trucks until they're done making them in 10 years. And again, you know, the build quality's there. I would just love Toyota to get competitive with 4Runner pricing, because with vehicle sales being down so much, it's a very competitive market, especially only offering a 4-cylinder. I've got somebody helping me start. So what this truck needs is a plastic valve, plastic cover for the engine to quiet some of this stuff up. It could say 4Runner. I think it would just help a lot when people are looking at this truck for the first time, for that emotional connection, a plastic cover for the engine here. So Heritage Blue is definitely the color you want. Again, that's what I drove in my most recent video. The trucks are identical, but I call Heritage Blue, compared to the white one, resale value blue. This is the kind of color that makes a difference when you know, sell your truck one day, if you do. Again, I want to point out that adding red springs would be huge for that emotional connection. And maybe here you could put you know, IMAX or 4Runner badging right here. That's the other thing that would look good. GM does that really well with their hoods. So let's wrap this video up now. And again, guys, I appreciate you being here. Give us a like or subscribe or follow. Can't thank you guys enough. So let's wrap it up now. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. In summary, I do think the 6th Gen 4Runner has a lot of potential, but it needs some design cues, heritage cues from the 5th Gen to create that emotional connection for new customers, many of them who have owned 5th Gen 4Runners, and they walk in expecting the exact same reliability and quality from the 6th Gen. So I'll run down them very quickly. Moving 4Runner up on the rear tailgate, moving Toyota down, adding a red circle on the wheels, adding the chin mounted fog lights, using an engine cover, and more padded materials in the interior versus all the plastic that you see, and moving up those window switches on the driver's side and passenger side up to the top of the door like it was on the 5th Gen, which I think was a great location. What people really care about is quality. So I just looked at the motor with a Ford engineer on the lot here, and the presentation of the motor when you open the hood is excellent. It just needs that engine cover. Okay guys, so hey, thanks for watching this video. I got more coming. I think I'll do a new Land Cruiser video, we'll see. And guys, I appreciate you. We appreciate you here at On Down the Road Productions. Share your thoughts with me on this video if you agree with me about what Toyota could do to increase the emotional connection with the 5th Gen, which I think will only help the truck long term. And I left out, they got to change those front lights. It's just too Tacoma-ish. Nothing wrong with making those front lights look like the 5th Gen more, and the tail lights too. But if I had to pick between them both, I'd redo the front headlights and make them bigger and larger to be more 5th gen like. Guys, we appreciate you. Remember, if you get knocked down, get right back up. Life's not fair for all of us. And I appreciate you. I'm glad to be making videos again after a tough year for me last year. Don't feel sorry for me. I got through it. Life's not fair. And you know, I'm so excited right now that I conquered a lot of my health issues. And you can hear it in this video and the last video. You know, it feels good to feel good from a health perspective. And guys, I love doing this. And I love the fact that you care enough to subscribe, like, follow, share, and make comments. I mean that from my heart to you guys. We are on your side. I give fair reviews. We're not corporate shills. You know the drill here. I actually have automotive engineering experience. I've worked for automotive companies, and I bring that unique perspective to it without embellishing my background. Okay guys, until next episode, we do think of you. We do love you for helping us grow, and I want you guys to have the best day possible, and cross your fingers for Toyota. Say a prayer that they make some changes in terms of perceptile quality on their new trucks, and maybe they'll bring back the V8 now. I talked about 3 years ago that we're going to get a new president and regulations will change again. I tell you, that Tundra with a 5.7 liter V8 would be fine, and this truck back here with a 3.5 liter V6 would be fine. Boy, with all the money Toyota saved re-engineering the 4Runner and Tacoma and Tundra, I wish they could get more aggressive, because it sounds like they're saving a ton of money producing these trucks with so much commonality. I don't know why they can't reduce the pricing. A lot of people have forgotten that in the 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s, the automakers were actually price competitive with each other. If they did increase the price of a vehicle the following year, they included extra features to kind of compensate for that. So if these automakers, because incomes have not matched vehicle pricing, if they could think more about the family budget with their pricing and what people can logically afford, they will get customers for life with that budget pricing and good quality. And you know, to the 6th Gen 4Runner's credit, it's got a timing chain. No wet belt, no rubber timing chain. So that's a big plus in its favor. Guys, until next episode, be good, take care, and we'll see you then.